Milwaukee has introduced so many tools just ahead of Pipeline 2025, and last year they introduced roughly over 99 new tools, and they seem to be on pace to release even more this year. So today we're going to look just at a few of the new tools that Milwaukee is going to release just ahead of Pipeline 2025. And the first one is the Milwaukee M12 Rover Multi-Directional Floodlight with PACKOUT Capability, and this one's going to be $99. And what it comes with is a twist to lock mount, which is PACKOUT compatible, and most people are familiar with that. They launched that last year at Pipeline 2025. On board, you have the ability to charge with a USB Type-C, and you're getting roughly 3.0 amps on that as a power source. Also, the brightest the light gets is 12 lumens, and they're using a TRUEVIEW light, which is their patented TRUEVIEW, which really works good. I own a lot of the lights, and that TRUEVIEW is really wonderful. And using a 4.0 for 12 on high, you have 4 hours, 8 hours, 6 lumens, 16 hours, 3 lumens. So that's a lot of time. Generally, nobody's working 16 hours. And when it comes to dust and water resistant, is IP1654. And you can take a drop up to 9 feet or 4.5. No, that's wrong. That's actually 3.28 meter drop. So that's it. Now, what they're saying, it has many options when it comes to mounting it in place. Now, obviously, you know it's PACKOUT compatible, so that's one of the features. So there's a total of 4. Now I'm saying 5 because you connect it directly to your PACKOUT, but what you're saying is that there are 4 ways to connect it, and one of the many ways, as mentioned before, is with the PACKOUT Mount. So that's one of the ways you're going to connect it, using the PACKOUT Mount directly to any surface. And then you have strong magnets to the back, so you can connect it to metal. And then there's a hook so that you hook it onto surfaces. And then there's a little keyhole to the back integrated to hang it on nails or screws. So let's look at the second one coming in at $497. It's the Nut Runner, and it is specifically for 3/8 rods. And I think it's 9/16 wrenches for the nut, so the nut size is 9/16. And what Milwaukee is saying is that this is 9 times faster than actually driving that up with your hands. I know many companies have produced similar tools, but Milwaukee is now entering the market with their Nut Runner, and they're saying that it's going to make your job even faster for those electricians, those who do ductwork, electrical, so on and so forth. They're saying, but to me, what's really impressive is the weight capacity that this nut driver can take, and they're saying that it has the capacity to lift up to 100 pounds. That's really impressive. It lifts up a capacity of 100 pounds, which is roughly about 45 kilograms. So that's really impressive. So let's look at something that you should always like, which is a wire stripper, or not stripper. When I get to that, this is to twist the nuts into place for electrical connections, and Milwaukee is bringing this out a little late to me. This is just me, but I like the price. I think it's $10 if I'm not correct, and for that price you get something to help you to connect your nuts even faster. And if you're into the Milwaukee platform, it looks well designed, looks well durable, and for the price, I don't think you could go wrong with this. So something else for electrician, and this is another one electricians are going to like. Milwaukee's also introducing wire stripper. What I meant to say before, they have 4 wire strippers they're going to introduce, and they said it's going to be giving you nice clean cuts and going to remove the excess coating very quickly. So let's move on to our third one, which is the Electrofusion processor. I know nothing about this, to be honest with you. I've seen it used now in the field which I work, which is construction, civil engineering work. I know a lot of people use these for more bigger pipes instead of conventional welding, so I don't know exactly how it works, but Milwaukee has finally reduced one. But this is the only MX fuel tool that we're going to be talking about that's going to be released by Milwaukee for 2025. I think they announced this, last year, but they're only now announcing the price, and we now have some promotional footage of the device and a little better explanation, which you will see in this video. And also there'll be a link for the explanation of what it does, how it works, how it's going to benefit those in the field. And What they're also saying is that it's extremely light, easy to transport, which I am assuming is what they're saying is a selling point compared to the competitors, whom I'm sure devices are much heavier, in addition to the fact that it's cordless. And on the MX platform, you're imagining the kind of runtime you're going to get with that platform, particularly if you're working outdoors or remote areas, which is in more cases you haven't set up your electrical, so you're really struggling always to get some kind of electrical supply. And I realize Milwaukee's kind of getting into that heavy industrial market, and this is one of the devices that they're using to do that. So we're looking out for that. Well, for those in the field, I'm sure they're excited about this too. Up next, we have the Milwaukee 3-in-1 vacuum pack. It's a fuel tool, and Milwaukee is saying that this has a longer runtime, it is more light, and then it comes with some nice feature. But to me, it sort of looks like the Proton pack. It's a Proton pack from the Ghostbusters. It has that look. I don't like the aesthetics of it, but I really like shoulder-mounted vacuums because it gives you that level of comfort and mobility, so you're not dragging something around when you're working, and I really like that about it. However, I don't really like the aesthetics of it, but that's not the point. Most of the time it's the performance, and I believe with this new 3-in-1 vacuum, you're going to get the performance. I don't have the price on it yet, so we have to wait to see what the price will be. Most likely to announce that in pipeline 2025. And the controversial Milwaukee rack system for $19.99, almost $2,000, and a lot of people are kind of saying, hey, it's a little overpriced. But as we see the video, the way this has been designed, the engineering that went into it, you can see the justification for the price. Now, if you look at the kit out your vehicle, you're looking at easily spending, if you're going to buy the actual kit, it comes with, I think, 4 drawer slides, the actual cabinet, and then the rack with the stand itself, you're looking at spending roughly about $6,000 just to set up your van, depending on the size and depending on the arrangement in your vehicle. So it's going to be a little costly, but based on the pictures I've seen, based on some of the tool reviewers who had the ability to look at it in person, most of them agree that it looks well built and it looks durable. So I can kind of see the justification. There was a lot of engineering. There doesn't seem to be any generic parts. Everything seemed to be made specifically for this new system. So the price is a little steep, and I can see where a lot of people are going to be kind of pushed out of this new market with the rack system because it is a little pricey. Out the box, you have to assemble it yourself, and we're going to see a little bit of that in the video on how it comes, and we're also going to look at some of the individual prices for the unit. But even in this promo video, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. I like the way everything looks durable, looks well put together. So let's take a closer look at the price. And they come around roughly 4 feet and about 27 inches wide, and you can see how they're available right now with the shelves, the cabinet, and then the PACKOUT rack by itself and the PACKOUT rails. So the Milwaukee PACKOUT rack by itself will be $749.99, and the PACKOUT rack, the whole system, is $19.99, well, $2,000. Now the Milwaukee PACKOUT rack frame is $499. The Milwaukee PACKOUT rack drawer will be $199. So those are the prices for the Milwaukee rack system. It's a bit steep, but as I said, based on this video you're looking at right now, it comes packaged very neatly and you have to assemble it yourself. And based on the video, it looks like it's going to take you roughly about a half an hour to assemble the entire box, or it can take about an hour depending on your level of skill, because some people are struggling when it comes to assembling these type of things. But as you can see, it looks well built. Right now it looks a little wobbly, but that's always the case because obviously you have to put the frame in, whatever the case may be. But I believe it should be worth the cost. I personally, I don't have that kind of van, so I really wouldn't be looking to buy something like this, to be quite honest with you. But if you're interested in it, this is how it's assembled. This is how it's going to be assembled in the vehicle. And the video, if you go onto the Milwaukee website, you can see how it's actually assembled, so you have a better idea of how it is made. But that's it. That's the price, $19.99. So can't wait to see reviews on it and hear what people who use it actually have to say. All right, so let's look at some honorable mentions that I'm not going to go into details, so let's take a look at them right now. For watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and subscribe. We have many more videos coming, actually more review type videos coming, so stay tuned for that. So see you on the next one.